Okay. Thank you for segueing right into it, because let's go right here. What positions do we address in the draft? But I'm gonna before we get to that, because there's a lot of different ones, I'm gonna go to what Ryan was talking about. Do we still look at quarterback? Do we look at an 11th pick, or is it later in the draft? I think the first thought we all have is we got Carson Wentz, so the 11th pick needs to be another move, maybe a move to help him, maybe a defensive move, something else to address. But does that mean that we don't go maybe second, third round, maybe later, or later in the draft, maybe get one of these guys like a Carson Strong, you know what I mean? Or, see who sticks around for as long as he does. I mean, what do you think, Will?
Well, Ron has said that this next year we're going to have, he goes, I want to have a veteran. We've got Taylor on our team, and I anticipate having a rookie. Mm-hmm. So he's got his veteran. Taylor Heineke's still on staff. So now his next move is to get a rookie. And did you know this week there were some pro days? Kenny Pickett had a pro day. Malik Willis Kenny Pickett's hands got bigger. Surprise at his pro day.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
He's been working them out, stretching them a little bit here.
Let's go.
And then Malik Willis had his pro day at Liberty. Mm-hmm. Guess what team was at both of them? The Washington Commanders.
Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
So, to his question, do we look at a quarterback at 11? I think absolutely not. Okay. I think one of the things that Carson did not like was his last year in Philly when they drafted Jalen Hurts in the second round. Yeah. And I don't think he liked that pressure or this, what it brought to the team, or this idea of like, well, maybe he's not the guy. Right. Knowing that he's on a 1-year contract, I don't think that is the move to make. And I would advocate against going in the second or third round. I would go much later for someone so that we have a quarterback. And the guy I would go after, honestly, is a former Wisconsin Badger. I'd go get Jack Cohn and let him sit behind and groom. And then next year, he's your backup quarterback to, let's hope, Carson Wentz. Yeah. So I would say go much later in the draft. Like, I think they're going to bring somebody in. But I think it is careful. We got to be careful with who we bring in. And I think you're also hearing from Ron saying, like, well, if you don't love the guy, why go after somebody? Why spend a high pick? And so I feel like they're not going to address it as early now that they have Carson Wentz. Had we signed someone like Teddy Bridgewater, I would have said we're probably looking at a first or second round pick. But now that that's the case, I think we're going to go a little bit later. And I think now you do things to make our team better, make Carson better.
Absolutely. So to answer the initial question, I do think you look not at 11. Obviously not 11. And I'm kind of agreeing with you that you even push back past the fourth. Maybe the fourth, if somebody that you didn't think was going to be there is going to still be there. Or you just push back to see. But yeah, I think you definitely still want to get a rookie, because something like you said, where you can bring him up, let him learn the system, let him get on practice, but he has to be better than Steven Montez, who he had over there for 3 years and did no type of movement whatsoever. You know what I mean? So I definitely like that move. But I think, I'm bringing you right back in here, Ryan, because Ryan, I think Ryan and Ab are pretty close. Ryan said trade down a couple picks if possible, grab a couple of picks, draft wide receiver, middle linebacker outside the second round, and fill backups.
So do you mind me jumping in on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is actually why I think it's great that we were there at Pickett and Willis's workouts. Because just like the combine, you're getting a chance to be right next to coaches and general managers and assess who are they liking. All right, so there's something to what Ryan's saying and what Ab is saying about our 11th overall pick. So we got a couple teams that could be going after quarterbacks. Atlanta at 6, Carolina at 8, and Denver at 9. All right, so there's a chance that someone may be getting a quarterback. There's also a chance that they don't. And therefore, when you get to 11, you may have a situation like the Bears had last year, where the Giants were able to swap with the Bears and they came up to get the quarterback they want. So having a chance to be at these and kind of assessing, Pittsburgh seems to really like Willis. Is there a chance for Pittsburgh to go from 20 to 11 to get one of those two quarterbacks? And here's your chance to start having those conversations on what would be compensation. What are kind of making those deals out now, or almost so when you get to that pick and Willis is there or Pickett's there, you call Pittsburgh up immediately and say, "You ready to do this?" Right. And you have the agreement already in place, and you can make that swap. So if we can trade back, I think that would be great. And this is setting ourselves up to really see who's interested in these guys so we can press them come the 11th overall.
Exactly. And hey, shout out to Ab. Like Ab was saying, he has said this, feeling that way. Exactly. Absolutely. Like you said, Ryan, like Ab has said, trade back. But that number 11th pick is essentially a top 10, one spot out. And it's a hot commodity. You know what I mean? Like you alluded to the Justin Fields, trading with the Giants of a year ago and making that big move. And it was their start to their franchise essentially, because you've seen how they've been, have been letting everybody go and kind of restructure and implode the team and, build it back up, which might be a very smart move. So I definitely like going back and trading back and seeing who and where we could pick up and what we could address. And look, that goes right into this next thing. What positions should we address? Shout out to Ryan. He was saying wide receiver, middle linebacker, offensive line, fill backups. Absolutely agree. Will, do we go like we did a year ago and try to go for year 2 of fill our middle linebacker with this pick? Or do we play like Ryan's saying, play for more picks and just kind of get the right player? Maybe not the best player, maybe not the guy that's ranked highest, but the guy that fits. Which direction do we go?
Yeah. When it comes to the middle linebacker, I'll say this. For me, it depends on, are they able to play all 3 downs? Because if they can, and I'm sorry, buddy, if they can play all 3 downs, I think then that allows us to let Holcomb go at the end of the year. Because we can't keep signing everybody. I apologize.
Our heels.
And it goes to a little bit like we talked about last week of like, do you pay a linebacker, middle linebacker whose the game is changing, safeties are playing more, is that worth it? But you certainly can say there's a dude out at Tampa when they traded up, I think it was to go get that linebacker from LSU. The name is Devin White, and how much of a game changer he is. So I don't want to say the middle linebacker position is important, but you need to be able to play all 3 downs the way a Devin White can. So honestly, in my opinion, if we are able to trade back, say we're picking at 20 with Pittsburgh, I will look at, is there that middle linebacker who can come in? I think we need to look at wide receiver. We've mentioned it. We've wanted to improve it in free agency, and I think the contracts are just too high. Not if you need to sign Terry, not if you have Curtis Samuel. It's just too much money at that position. So I would love to see us target wide receiver in the first round. If we trade back, we could be looking at an offensive lineman. I think it's important that we get a guard. Schweitzer is a good player, but how great would it be that we've got a young guy to come in and maybe unseat him or allow Schweitzer to walk at the end of the year? Now we've got 2 cheap guards that we're playing off of. So I think that could be in play if we trade back, not at 11. And then we've kind of mentioned some of these positions. I would love to see us get another corner. I think we need to develop somebody else at corner. And I would love to see us go after, a tight end. I keep coming back to tight end. Maybe I just want to run a 2 tight end set. I don't know. I think that's what it is. I'm obsessed with this. But I definitely think, wide receiver is that first position I really want to see us attack. There's so much talent in this draft. I want to see us get someone who can be a game changer and help out Terry, help out Carson, and really make FedEx exciting.
Absolutely. And I mirror all your moves. Wide receiver, inside linebacker, corner, and then I have obviously, quarterback later on down, but depth depth at D tackle is one of the places. D line, linebacker depth, not just getting our guy, but getting other guys that we can either start at special teams and then kind of work them in to the offense. You know how we had Dave Mayo, where he wasn't the best guy, but he was a good quarterback of that defense, something that we need that can hold the group together. If we don't trade back at 11, where would you go, or does it change it at all?
I'm going wide receiver.
Wide receiver?
I'm getting one of these studs from Ohio State. You know, they separate, you know, and they, like Terry, you know, you don't know between Terry, them and Curtis Samuel and De'Ami Brown, which one of these four are gonna run past you. Who we going deep on this play? And, you know, I think we got to go wide receiver.
Oh yeah, and I like those guys. I like Chris Olave. Okay, I like Garrett Wilson. I love what they bring to the table, and then obviously having that Ohio State wide receiver crowd is definitely works well because they all work out together. They all work together. But you know what, man? Somebody that you have sold me on that I really was not a believer in before, but I started watching his combine, started watching some of his footage from USC, 6'5", Mr. Drake London. We got a big name quarterback. We got a big, tall quarterback. Let's get a big wide receiver. You know what I mean? We talked about going deep, and all I think about is that first Cowboys game where you see, what's his name, Heineke roll out to the right. He has three guys wide open for the first down, but decides he needs to, you know, hike it up there to Terry McLaurin, who jumps up and about near breaks his back on his fall back down. Like, we need a big guy that can get up there, two hands up in the air, bring it down, and still come down with some kind of control and not have Terry McLaurin, you know, be risking his back and, you know, risking his neck to try to sit here and make a big play for us because nobody else can do it. You know, so I love Drake London. I love what he brings to the table, and I would love if we can get that to work, something like that. But Ohio State, I can't go against those. Those guys are just amazing. Like
they are. I've got something for you. I've got a dream scenario here. Okay, we trade with Pittsburgh. We trade with Tampa. I don't care. We're at 18. Not Tampa. New Orleans. We're drafting at 18. We're drafting at 20. It doesn't matter to me. Okay. We traded back with them. We got ourselves another third rounder because we don't have it. So in the first round, we picked one of two guys. You pick the dude like Kenyon Green. He's a guard. Yeah. Or this is gonna be wild. We go get that corn-fed white boy from Iowa. Linderbaum or something.
Yeah, Linderbaum, yeah.
Okay. We put him at center. We moved Chase Roulier to allow to be a swing. You know, he might take over at right guard from Schweitzer. Okay. With our second pick, we go get the best corner available. Now that we have a third round pick, we go get your tall receiver. This dude out of Cincinnati, 6'3". He ran a 4.4. Alec Pierce.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm with like. Cam Sims is going to be a tall receiver for Carson. I think that's good. That's why he came back, and I want to see it a little bit. But I'm with you. It would be nice to have a little bit more height out there to help us out. Possessions you talk about. We need a first down. Who can be the physical guy who catches it and gets smacked by the corner that's covering him?
Yeah. And look, that receiver position is definitely where I want because. We need to be able to not rely on Humphreys. You know what I mean? And hey, shout out to my guy Dax Milne, but you know, he's not going to take the top ball. He's not going to put any fear in defenses. Some of the names that I looked at, Pierce absolutely loved him at Cincinnati and what he did with Desmond Ridder. Calvin Austin III out of Memphis. You know, when what's his name? Gibson was there a couple years ago. Austin was there, and they were both elite type talents. David Bell from Purdue. You know, a year ago, Rondell Moore came out of Purdue and just lit it up and was doing all this. I think David Bell is also that type of receiver. And I'm excited about that. Now, if we were to go earlier and get something, Penn State, Jahan Dotson. I love this kid. I love what he's got. And hopefully this guy I believe he could help take the top off of defense. I still want to get a vet. I still want to get somebody that's going to help teach the young guys something, but we need, you know, look over on the right. and we got Terry or whatever. We look over on the left, we got one of these big guys coming in there. You got Samuels coming in motion in the backfield, doing whatever he's got to do with McKissick and Gibson and, the tight ends. I'm ready for these type of guys that are going to help us take the top off defense so that people are saying, damn, we got to front cover McLaurin. Now we got to cover this guy and a healthy, you know what I mean? So, I mean, like we're real close. Health, just a healthy season away and getting one of these type of guys away from really making some moves. So that I love that. Let's go in. You said inside linebacker, middle linebacker. Who are you thinking of? Outside of my guy, Mr. Muma.
No, I want the Montana State guy. If I'm gonna go, I would give me Troy Anderson.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. Buddy, I want. You know what? One of the guys I like. You mentioned Wisconsin. Leo Chanel.
Mm-hmm. Tackling machine.
Yeah, I like that. Something similar to, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm a little biased. My guy, Mr. Cole Holcomb, but somebody that just flying all the way around the field just to get that short tackle. That's something I absolutely think we need. And Christian Harris out of Alabama, always got to stay. Hey, we have a Alabama theme on defense, so let's go there.
That's because Bruce Allen's too stupid to actually do scouting, so he would just go get me someone from Alabama.
So anybody from Alabama, just get him, bring him in here. But do you go – so let's say, like same question I said wide receiver. If we stick at 11, is inside linebacker there? I mean, we know about Greg Lloyd. We know about Lloyd. We know about Nakobe Dean. Do we make that move to one of these type of guys?
I'm hesitating because that'd be back-to-back years of drafting linebackers.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those things where, like, look at the impact that a Devin White had in Tampa. I mean, he was lights out from the beginning, So it's like, I want to say no, but I also recognize what it could do with the idea, like, because the wide receiver position can be loaded in these drafts. Like, all your best athletes are now going to wide receiver. So, I'm probably sure it's Ryan who mentioned, Christian Watson on there.
Yep.
So like there is chances in your second and third round to get productive players. So it's like, if you could really fill out that defense, because I mean, it started in week 1. I was screaming at you guys on text messages saying, if you need a third down, throw it over the middle. Our linebackers can't cover anybody.
Yeah.
And so I mean, if you can shore that up, that's a big deal. It's just, to me, it's like, oh my gosh, doggone it, 2 first-round picks on linebackers back to back.
Right. And see, it puts more pressure, especially if we stick at middle linebacker for the first-round pick. It puts more pressure on us making this pick good, because we can't miss 2 years in a row at middle linebacker. No, we cannot have that happen. And so that's why I do lean more towards, hey, let's trade back and do that, so we're not making a foolish move at 11. Let's actually get some kind of compensation for that pick. And then we can talk about some of these guys. I love this one. Christian Watson, 6'5" with a 4.3 40. Yes, I'm all about that. So I'm with that. A name that I mentioned this earlier, Rondale Moore. He got picked up later. Shout out to Mr. Moral Support, Mr. Anton.
Love that guy.
Yeah, he loved him, man. And he balled out this year.
He did. We blasted him. We're not drafting a wide receiver.
Right.
We don't need a wide. We just picked up Curtis. Why would you? And guess who sucked this year at wide receiver?
Right.
Curtis Samuel. I lost my train of thought. I'll come back to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say shout out to Anton Benson. Yo, get that. Hey, shout out to Brandon. Brandon Spilletta is watching this diehard Washington fan. Brandon, stay with us next week, man. We're gonna send the link out, man. I want you to join the show. Let us know. Brief, quick 5 minutes. Tell us your feelings about the team, what you think about the moves that we've been making in this offseason. What are we looking at in the draft, the new name, the whole 9. So, Brandon, definitely link up with us. I'll hit you up after the show so we can definitely rap about it. But, yeah, Will, you got anything? Is there any other, wide receiver, middle linebacker, those are obviously huge holes that we need. You mentioned tight end.
Oh yeah, I mean not early. I won't go early. I'm not getting Weidenmeyer like you're saying.
No,
I'm waiting till about the fourth or fifth round.
yeah,
I'm getting the dude out of Wisconsin. Give me Jake Ferguson. All he does is catch first downs.
I can dig it.
I've seen him for years. My in-laws love this guy. He produces a freshman. Yeah, I would love to have him. And then there's a dude, I think at UVA's got a pretty good tight end, and so does Virginia Tech. So there's a chance to get some young guys there too. Some not as local guys.
Yeah, yes, you know where I went. Weidermeyer, Kohler, but these guys might potentially go, first round or early second. So I'm not gonna. We're probably not gonna get them. If they fall, I'm picking them up. Let's go.
Get my 2 tight end sets.
You're right. Straight up the field. Hey, 2 seams. Let's go. Everybody else do whatever. Yo, but yeah, that's definitely something that I definitely want to address. I love that. But I think we're in agreement. Wide receiver, inside linebacker, definitely the 2 major moves that we need to make, and we got to hit. We've got to hit on these positions because, as you've seen, a year ago, Jamin Davis, huge. I don't want to call him a bust after 1 year, but I will say that he definitely did not provide what we expected or what we were looking for, especially with that pick. You know what I mean? So
they called him raw in the draft, and we saw how raw he was.
Yep, absolutely. So, there it is. There it absolutely is, man. Hey, Will, do you got anything else for us from the draft, man? Anything you're looking forward to?
We went way into more depth of draft than I planned. I haven't even started looking at things just yet, just very briefly, because I put all my attention into free agency, and now I start to. But we've all started going through these scenarios here, and now I'm going to have to do these doggone mock drafts like Ab does and sends to us.
Yeah, definitely do some mock drafts, man. I know we've done it, and with his, man, he's trades back immediately. He's just immediately traded back.
I remember what my point was, what I was thinking about. There's not a player. Trade back is what triggered it. I don't have a single player right now in this draft that I covet. And so like I love the idea of trading back because I'm not at the point where like, man, we can't let this guy go up to somebody else. We can't lose him. As good as these Ohio State wide receivers look to be, and as wonderful as they'd be on our team, if we trade back and we can go get a couple other pieces, I'm totally fine with that. So that's why I think it could be exciting where we're at because we may have the chance to stockpile some picks.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Ryan. Can't afford to miss on either. I agree. Absolutely. Ooh, excuse me. Yo, so yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are so glad that you came here, you joined us, you watched us, you stuck with us for an hour and a half, and you talked about this team that we absolutely love. They are the reason why we have some gray hairs on our head and on our chin, but we stuck with them for over 30 years. We've been with them since the last time they won it and everything that's come since then. So we're going to be here. Hopefully you are next week, ladies and gentlemen. I will say it one more time, and I'll definitely make a video of it later. Next week, we are inviting you, ladies and gentlemen, you, the guest, to come on the show. Give us how you feel about the team. Where do you think about the direction, the offseason moves, where we should go in the draft? Even, hey, the new name, Commanders, or us getting Carson Wentz, man, definitely join in. Give you, a couple minutes to say your piece and just be a part of the show, man. We do this not only for us, because, yes, it's therapy for us, but also for you guys. We know you guys love this as well, so definitely tune in. We'll send the link a week ago. I'll make a video of this. Will, you got anything more for the people, man?
I'm excited for next week. I'm excited to hear other people's views and kind of see how much they line up with us or tell us that we're stupid.
Yeah, there it is. Absolutely. But look, so ladies and gentlemen, again, we're so glad you were able to sit here and be with us. Definitely tune in next week. It's going to be a fun, jam-packed show. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more news to talk about, but there's always this draft and always this good stuff coming. We are going to go ahead and let you guys go. This is Washington Football Weekly. I am your boy, Sean Spencer, with my guy in the place that I wish I was right now, Hot Stevie, South Carolina. Shorts and short sleeves, right, Will?
Pretty much, yeah. We're getting there. Yeah. We're getting there.
Yeah, we got rain jackets and hoodies. This is terrible. This is terrible. But you know something that's going to be terrible for those people in South Carolina?
Don't go there.
My Lady Tar Heels get the W and shock the world. Tar Heels. This will not be like the Milk Bowl, all right? There's no mayonnaise except for the one that we're going to put on Don Staley where we win this thing. Let's go. Yeah, buddy. Hey, we will see you guys next week. We're going to take you out real quick with my guy, Mr. Moral Support himself. He's the handyman, Mr. Anton Benton. Peace, people.
Hey there, ladies and gents. Your local handyman, Anton Benton, here to help you with your problems. I'm here right now on the job site, taking out whole kitchen cabinets. A little bit more work to do, but if you got a project at your house that you need to get completed, I'm your guy to finish it up for you. Give me a call, let me know what you need to get done.
Your new company, man. Shout out to your new company. Go ahead and tell the world about your new company real quick.
Oh boy. So marketing Anton Benton Pros.
Yes.
Doing everything from plumbing to electrical to making huge decks to doing closets.
Yes.
Doing it all. Doing it all.
That's what's up, man. I'm super happy
Thank
for
you guys. Thank you.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
We are back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The lion. Here. The lion. You need to find me. Kirk Cousins. Woo!
All right. I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
And this is